Alright guys, so I had a request video yesterday to do a video on how our tubs are set up for our babies and adults. So I'm going to go over a couple of different setups we run just to show you guys. When babies hatch out, we typically try to start them off on mealworms. But usually when they hatch, we don't feed them right away. So I'm going to show you guys what a typical hatchling setup looks like. These albinos were hatched out yesterday, and really we just put a piece of paper towel. We spray it down real well when they first hatch, and give them a styrofoam meat tray, not plastic, and we just set them up in there. And there you can see a little striped albino, and that's pretty much good enough to take them all the way through their first shed. Here's the sibling, and then we'll try and offer them food. Okay. Now, here's a couple that took mealworms. This one hatched out November 30th. So you can see what their setup looks like under 3 months old. Under 3 months old, they'll have paper towel. These were just cleaned yesterday, and I spray them down about 3 to 4 times a week. They don't have any water bowls. They just have a paper towel, a hide, their worm dish with calcium and vitamin mixture, and here we have a fat, healthy gecko. There you can see a nice little 0. Okay. Now, when they get to 3 months old, they'll get a water dish and a big worm dish. Now, let me show you guys another one. Here's a 0, a whiteout possible 0 that I have for sale, and you can see what they look like once they get to 3 months old. They still have their dish. There's the gecko. Starting to pick up some really nice blushings. They have the worm dish, which just allows us to put more worms in here without them escaping, since they do eat more once they get larger. And a 2-ounce Dixie cup for water. They still have their paper towel, and they get sprayed down maybe once or twice a week. That's about it. Because they don't drink water, they'll have it from the dish. Now, if they don't eat mealworms, their setup is even more basic. Here's a couple that just haven't taken on the mealworms, so they're set up, and this one actually ate all the crickets already, so that's a good sign. You just have crickets, paper towel sprayed down with water, and this one already ate the crickets, so that's definitely a really good sign. Here's another one who also ate her crickets, and these were not eating mealworms. They wouldn't touch them, but tossing crickets and they get them. Okay, now the next one is our adult setup. We'll just walk over here. This year we're housing all our adults alone, since some of them eat mealworms, some of them eat crickets. But our holdbacks will be put into groups of 3 into 28-quart tubs. And then we're going to turn this into our male rack. Okay, but our setups are simple. Again, for mealworm eaters, they have their hide box / lay box in the back. Also serves as a humid hide. And what's good about these things is I put moss. Fat tails need higher humidity, so that, you know, I live in Florida. It's already high humidity enough. They can go inside if they need that extra humidity that they feel they need. Newspaper, adult, large worm dish, 2-ounce Dixie cup for water. And now if they don't want to hide, if they want to hide in the cool side of the cage, they can go under the paper, hide on the cool side. If they want to hide on the back side, on the hot side of the cage, but on the dry end, there's a little space. This little spacer on this Tupperware bin gives them space in the back so they can hide. I don't know if you can see it there. Right under there on the dry side to the back of the container. So that's why I chose these containers and have them the way I have them. And let me just show you another one here. Here's a caramel and a whiteout. You can see the whiteout's hanging up at the top. Caramel's in her lay box. This one's eating superworms, and we got this one on mealworms, but you can see that both setups are pretty much identical. In the lay bins, I like to either put, when they're laying, vermiculite. When they're not laying, either sphagnum moss or vermiculite. Doesn't really matter. Now for our cricket eaters, again, it's more simple. We just don't have a worm dish. As you can see, this one's hiding out in the back. It's a 0 male. And we just have his hide box sphagnum moss inside, a water dish, you can see a little cricket in there, and newspaper. And that's about it. We don't keep a calcium dish in any of the containers, especially if they're eating mealworms. They get some of that vitamin calcium powder straight from the mealworms when they eat, and also the mealworms are being gut loaded. And our cricket eaters get dusted with straight calcium every day, every time they feed. So, you know, we haven't had any problems at all with calcium deficiencies or metabolic bone disease. But pretty much those are our setups for our adults and for our babies. It doesn't change too much from baby to adult, just the substrate, the size of the container, and the hides. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and keep sending us suggestions for what you guys like to see next. We're going to be doing some videos, hopefully, of some cool morphs hatching out, and hopefully some really cool pairings that are going to be coming up. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.